So I did a thing that fixed a thing, and I'm the biggest moron alive for not fixing it sooner. Let's come to me. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Steel Toe. So let me first tell you the thing that I fixed. And look, before we even get to the spidering out of control comments tonight, I know we're getting a haircut. It'll be this weekend. So the thing I fixed. Oh, see, yeah, this has gotta change. You see that? You see that guy right there? The thing I fixed is the thing that makes me the biggest retard who ever lived. So, you know, when you get a new camera, you gotta fully set up the new camera. Some people were saying, Aaron, it's laggy. Aaron, it's blurry. Aaron, I don't like it. Aaron, it's too English. When you get a new camera and you set it up in OBS, there's a list of settings, right? And in that list of settings, it says deactivate, configure video, configure crossbar. And I did all that. I took care of it. However, beneath that is resolution, FPS, video format. I never did any of that. So I apologize. I didn't set it to the 1080. I didn't set it to 60 FPS. So do any of you who have said, Aaron, it's still a little blurry to me. Aaron, it's still a little to me. You were right. I was wrong. I apologize. I had not set up the thing right. But I got it set up. It's set up now. Now, the other thing I did, and you'll notice it, and I hate it, and I think I'm going to change it back. I eliminated one of the lights. It's too dark, and now it's too glary in my glasses. I'm going to go back to one light. Oh, I got one light now just straight on. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm probably going to go back to corners and just have them shoot like that. Raz of Chaz says another win for the Brave Toe. You know, look, Deutsch Chad, I'm really trying not to talk about that tonight, but I'm also not going to. If my audience goes, we want your take on this, we want you to talk about it. Believe me, I had people talking to me today. I had people calling me, sending me messages, things like that. Gino had me on his show today. It was, people want to get my opinion on this shit, and I understand it. I get it. Atomic Race, no Third World Aristocrat Melton videos tonight. He says, I'm filing a report with FBI Cyber Crime Unit. Yeah, I saw a lot of people in Melton's own chat going, this is a win for the Toe. This is a win for Imholt. He's got Patrick here. He found out Patrick was watching, and he didn't have his hand at the tiller, and Imholt fires up the Third World Aristocrat video. You had Patrick's own people going, I'm unsubbing. This is disgusting. This is gross. And I had a conversation with Buzamak about this today. Buzamak DM'd me. He was very nice. He asked my permission to use something. I told him. It was very kind of him. And he goes, yeah, look, I mean, the talking about kid stuff is up, no doubt. He goes, but what do you say to it's just jokes? You still have to own your jokes. I've been telling jokes, like, I still go on stage more than Patrick Melton does. And I'm not even a comic. And you still got to own your jokes. That's something I've learned a long time ago. Is that it doesn't matter if you're joking or serious. Once it leaves your mouth, people can take it as a joke or not a joke. And they get to decide what you are. That's part of being a public figure. I joke about shit all the time. People go, you're a Nazi, you're an anti-Semite, you're a racist, you're this and that, because of the jokes I tell. I can't sit there and cry like Patrick does. Go, I'm going to sue everybody who says mean things about me. No. You're allowed to, it's the Eminem. It's the B-Rabbit concept. I am whatever you say I am. So, as far as like the Third World Aristocrat stuff goes, you can hide behind, look, every hack who's told an unfunny joke that bombed, or any hack that said a retarded thing, hides behind, I was just joking. That's the number one trick in the hack toolbook. So, as far as as far as the Third World Aristocrat video from today goes, I got to say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part. Thank you very much. Numero uno Josh Denny fan wants me to talk about the Rekieta rumored 30 days in jail thing. First of all, we're going to discuss it a little more in depth in a second, but I think that's an inappropriate song, 30 Days in the Hole. Look, guys, there but for the grace of God go I. I committed a crime as well. I'm very sorry about it. It was a mean, shitty thing to do. It doesn't feel right celebrating someone else's suffering. Actually, that part is authentic. I do. I feel bad. It was a shitty thing to do. I was a retard back then. Learned a lot. Only once you realize what a up you are, only once you realize how shitty and stupid you were, can you really... It's true, you know, people, it sounds trite when other people say it, but until you actually do it yourself, until you admit you were a dumb piece of shit who did something wrong and you need to improve and work on shit like that, can you get better? You can't just deny you ever had a problem, or you can't just deny you were a piece of shit and then get better. It doesn't work that way. It starts with contrition. There's a pre-sentencing hearing that you have to go through. I answered all my questions. I did all my things for my pre-sentencing hearing, and it kind of tells the judge like where your head's at, where your mind's at, what they should do. It's done by the probation office, and the probation office gives their recommendation to the judge for sentencing. Now, the probation office must not have been very impressed with the interview that they were given by Nick, because they came out with their recommendation today, and their recommendation to the judge was 5 years probation, which we kind of thought 3 to 5 years probation, but I thought that would be it. 80 hours of community service. That's 2 full weeks of work of community service. And the kicker, and this shocked the hell out of everyone, 30 days in jail. Now, that's not the stayed sentence. Nick's going to get a prison sentence. And, he's going to get all that shit stayed, and then he's going to get probation, and if he completes the probation, he won't do the prison time. This is the sentence. 5 years probation, 80 hours community service, 30 days in jail. Now, I'm going to make my prediction right now. By the way, Nick's lawyer's counteroffer was 1 year probation. Look, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I get it. I'm going to go out on a limb right now. I don't know the judge. I hear he's a hard ass, this Wenzel in Candy, Ojai County, and that's a good thing. I don't think he's going to jail. I really don't. I don't think he's going to jail for 30 days. I think the 5 years probation is probable. I think it'll be somewhere between 3 and 5. 80 hours community service. I think that would do the boy some good. I really do. I don't think the 30 days is happening. I don't know anything about this shit. This is not coming from any kind of professional expertise. I just have a hard time believing that they're going to give him 30 days in jail. CJ with $2 says odds Nick stays clean for 5 years without violating. You can't get clean unless you admit you have a problem. You really can't. You can try to sneak. You can try to get your fix one way or the other, but I think honestly, like, if you're hooked on this stuff, you got to admit you're hooked, and you got to fight like hell to stay off of it. If you're going to be cavalier about it, nobody outruns those demons, man. They catch you every time. Humility, it's got to start with humility. The recommendation. Let me again go on record in all seriousness as saying I don't think the judge is going to take the whole pre-sentencing investigation from probation and just install that as the sentence. I don't think the 30 days in jail is going to happen. I could be wrong. I just have to interrupt because SP just texted me and she goes, "You got to quit looking at yourself on camera." I didn't think anyone could tell. I've been stealing looks at myself periodically during the show tonight. Yeah, I guess to put a bow on it, you know what? I was being ignorant. Someone told me tonight, or someone told me, they said, Aaron, are you going to talk about this tonight? And I said, I don't want to. I'll talk about it if the audience wants to. And like 10 minutes into the show, people are like, what did you think of the thing? What did you think of the thing? And I'm like, let's try to have some fun with it. How about some songs? How about some? I figured we'd get 2 or 3. And we ended up making metric tons of money tonight. Yeah, Small Town MN Gal says, did the audience just outbeat the dead horse? I really think they did.